Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello my people, good evening or good morning, or you're watching this video whatever time of the day you're watching it right now. I pray that peace and blessings be on you, and I pray that to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gives us the full reward of fasting in this month of Ramadan, and may it be the best Ramadan yet that we've seen in our lives. Now, coming to the point of this video, after thanking the Almighty, there are two specific areas I would like to talk about. One is the debt burden, which has, according to the reports released by our sister companies of the Daily Nation, that is the Daily Monitor, it's been said and research has been done proving that every Ugandan is owed an amount of 2.3 million Ugandan shillings. In Uganda, buli Munnayuganda okusinziira ku amabanja ge tulina, tuba nga twetaaga osasula, buli Munnayuganda yeetaagisaayo miliyoni 2.3 aga Uganda okubeera nga tweggyako amabanja ge tulina. So this debt burden doesn't come as a whole. It's World Bank which has given us this money. Remember, this money is a combination of foreign debt and public debt we get here from Uganda, from our commercial banks. So it is very alarming because previously we were below that level. I think by the time they read the budget, if I'm not very mistaken, we were in a range which was between 1.7 million Ugandan shillings to 2.2 million, 2.2 I think, if I'm not mistaken. So it was in that range. Unfortunately, it has increased, and about a month ago or so, there's a certain indicator the Ministry of Finance uses to measure our economic standing in the nation, and in that it showed a positive trend, and this research has come to a surprise of many economists and observers out there. So on a national level, Ugandans should be very, very observant of the increasing debt and bring a certain pressure to this government, be it legally, to become more frugal and carry out austerity to make sure that they streamline their, or whoever is in charge, they streamline their expenditure within their economical means. There's a comedian called Kevin Hart. There's one time he was making some comedy and he was talking about, it was a very, I think it is Laugh at My Pain. I think it was one of those. He was talking about living within your financial lane. And unfortunately, Uganda is, if we're supposed to be on a pedestrian's path, we're talking, we're in a highway, and we're on the other side. If we're keeping left, we're on the right, which is the speedy way. Yet we're supposed to be on the pedestrian's path, which is a very dangerous lane, by the way, financially and economically to our country, because not enough measures have been put in place to curb this unnecessary expenditure, which is leading us to borrow more and more and more and more, increasing our debt burden to more and more and more and more. This is a debt burden which is going to be filled by everybody, including the coming generations. So, as a responsible citizen of this country, it is you are advised to keep tabs on issues like this and make them a priority when you're talking to especially the people in charge and the politicians out there. Even if it is the opposition, because this is a very serious matter. This debt burden doesn't end with the government which you have right now. But even if it is somebody else to take over, in case the government changes, they should have a clear strategy on the way they are going to help us, like, calm this debt down, and put it to zero, or reduce it to the most minimum level they can. Because most countries in the sub-Sahara are in debt, which is understandable, but ours is getting out of hand. And it's like any business; it is very possible to operate in debt, uh, but streamlining your expenditure and your financial books to fit into that debt is very, very crucial. And then the other issue is, I want to keep this video very small, very short, short as I can, but with relevant explanations. The taking over of UMEME by UMEME mandate by the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited. So previously, UMEME bowed out of Uganda, but unfortunately, when the contract was ending, UMEME required the Ugandan government to pay it a total sum of money. I don't know if that's how it works with with different people, but this contract was a bit something else. So when the contract ends, I think all payments should end then. Unfortunately, when the contract of UMEME ended, there's a certain amount of money we have to pay. It wasn't terminated, by the way, so you have to get this right. It wasn't terminated. The contract ended, but we are supposed to pay UMEME a certain amount of money, which is totaling to 723 billion Ugandan shillings for it to exit the market. So fortunately, UMEME has already left, and this electricity distribution is going to enter into the mandate of our very own government. So, man, but with the inefficiencies which come along with dealing with this government of ours, unfortunately, with all, you understand the inefficiencies which come about with operating with an inefficient government like ours, which is so poor, working so poorly in service delivery to the people. I think there's a prediction, which is a very serious prediction, that the electricity prices will increase. And the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited also requires a certain amount of money to start its operations in administering what UMEME has been doing. So already supplementary budgets have already been put out there, which are to be presented to the parliament to finance these things. And an extra hand has been put aside for financing, and they are soliciting money or loans from domestic banks, which is called public debt. Remember, we talked about public debt in the first minutes. Public debt. So the government is soliciting money from domestic banks to finance the operations they are going to do with the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company. Unfortunately, when I was trailing this news and making research about it, I've been following the story. A number of employees of UMEME, former UMEME, which were supposed to be incorporated into the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company staff list. And unfortunately, it has not been done. A lot of people have lost their jobs already. So what we are seeing in the coming future is inefficiency in service delivery of electricity, domestically and commercially. So my advice to Ugandans is, much as already the expenditure is there, which is too big, uh, to understand and to also account for, then electricity is going to increase in prices in the near future or in the mid future. They are like in let's speculate like 6 months, and then I advise Ugandans to try out other sources of energy, especially for lighting and cooking. You can try out solar if you can. Critically think about it, and get yourself used to using liquefied gas, which is the gas which is used for cooking, found in all around petrol stations. And I hope these guys don't increase their price and start doing a caholding kind of kind of business, because it is very sure. And some time back, I was listening to Andrew Mwenda, the seasoned journalist, and he was telling us how electricity is about to increase in price because the number of Ugandans and the demand of electricity is already surpassing the amount which we can produce as a nation. So I'm advising all my Ugandan fellas out there to keep this in mind. Try as much as you can to um, save on electricity. Use solar electricity. If you can, use biogas. All these are alternatives to electricity, so that you don't get caught up in the web of the increase of prices, which we are speculating to be uh, taking effect in the next 6 months. So that's all I had to say for today. Have a good night, and thank you for watching.